Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? 18 Gator. 59. Left to 59. Good track. Ready?
Off the bootleg. Langley. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Langley, a bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Langley. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Leo. Fight.
Back to throw. McLean. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. The 2nd down and 10th there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. Check the call. Mike's 50. Ready.
Looking to throw. McLean. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Willie Henry able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Yep. Hey, lock it. Kill. Get it.
Back to throw. McLean. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got it at the 15. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Linder. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll try the left side. Peck. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs or putting together a team,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone, and with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense. But the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On the draw, this is Fournette. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter games.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame, there to get a hand in. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. McLean. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there. A big one. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. McLean. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. On 1st down, Peck. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
They can't hang with that.
2nd and 6. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Keep it up. 95's the center. No, check his Mike. Hey,
From the gun on 3rd down. McLean. The quick slant caught.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Barnett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. McLean. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Elliott good with a PAT, and a route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Fournette running out of the gun. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to throw. Langley. And Wilson has it. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half for football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Langley, he gets it to Thomas. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, eat. Here we go. Kill. Ready.
Off play action. McLean. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. the play fake. McLean. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the cross. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
High 7. 5.
On first and 10, McLean. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
That's fielded in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw. Langley, room here to run. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, If you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with Fournette, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Langley. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll get this up past the... .25 before he's out of bounds.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air. And that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 46 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Zipper! You got tight. You got tight right there. Big grip.
Looking to throw. McLean. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target. And sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Fournette, a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
50, play. Yeah, let's get second.
Off play action. Langley. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. And he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Back to throw. Langley. James has got it. Complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 62 yards. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McClain. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 17 yards and a giant first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Throwing on 1st down. Langley. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag. Will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old rig.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
To throw on 3rd down. McClain. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And now out come the Giants. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He's got it at the 15. That one good for 37 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
No chance, no chance.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On the run, it's Fournette. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams. Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Back to throw. McClain. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Under crunch. Check. Fresno. 22 jet bomber.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now this throw caught left side. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a 1st down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Langley. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, but now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Langley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this.
They've got his man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, it'll be a 13th win on the year. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs.